Alright everyone, hello and welcome. Let's get right into it. Let's see what we got here in the bag. I got some topics today. Alright, number one, we have a CMJ sampler from, what is this? August of 95. A bunch of stuff on there. Another one from May of 95. Then we have Bantam Rooster. They were a sort of rockabilly duo, the Cross and the Switchblade. And we have Black Label Society, The Blessed Hell Ride. Pearl Jam's second album, Public Image Limited's album. Anthrax, The Sound of White Noise. This is a German language instructional thing called Deutschen Berufsalltag. And we have the soundtrack for, what the hell is it? Los Quartatore di New York. I can't remember what the composer was. Somebody made that for me. Alright, let's get moving. Turn the damn air up a little bit. It's freezing in here. Alright. Oh, first off, before we begin, I had a good weekend. Finished a painting. Ate at my favorite restaurant. Yeah. Alright, good God, there's spiderwebs everywhere. Alright. First topic. Some of this material may overlap with the program I do with my wife, but anyway. Alright. Now, I broke my rule over the weekend about not watching the news. I did look at some news sites, and I did watch a couple of things, and maybe that contributed to this last 24 hours, 36 hours, I felt pretty crappy. I don't know, sort of emotionally maybe, but and I think maybe it's a result of watching the news, but I'm going to go back into watching less news this coming week. Oh, there's deer, 3 of them. I'll tell you something else I did over the weekend. I went to the university library and I got some books. Collections of French cartoons and some painting. A collection of poems by Richard Brautigan. Wasn't the one I was looking for. Alright, next topic. Had a meeting on Wednesday night at work about them downsizing the facility and moving a lot of people to the new Palmetto facility. And it was bullshit as usual. Alright, hold on a second. It really, I don't know. Alright, next. What does this say? Oh, the restaurant I went to eat at. It's a vegetarian buffet in Decatur called Madras Mantra Indian. And that was, all things considered, probably the best food I've ever eaten in my life. And you know, when I was 15, 16, I really feel, my memory tells me I would have eaten more than that. But I had 2 plates full and I was absolutely stuffed. I have so many good things on the buffet, and you know, on the second plate, you try to get things you didn't get the first time, but then you want to get more of the stuff you had in the first go around. Oh, so good. I will say the palak paneer, which is creamy spinach with paneer, which is a type of cheese they make in India. It's almost like tofu in its texture and appearance. It wasn't quite as good as usual. Alright, on that same trip we went to the Beaver Highway Farmers Market, and it was really, really good. There's so many things from around the world there. One of the things we wanted to get was blueberry halva. Halva is a sort of confection made in the Middle East. It can be made with a variety of things, sesame seeds or sunflower seeds. The type from Ukraine is usually made with sunflower seeds, and that's the type we wanted. But because of the Ukraine thing, I think production is way down, so I couldn't find it. I found a vanilla halva made in Israel, and it really wasn't as good. So many wonderful things there. I'm trying to think what else we got. Anyway, next topic. Aerosmith sucks. And what the hell does that say? I cannot read my writing. Oh! The Magic 102 phenomenon. Okay. Alright. For some reason... Okay. I don't know what triggered it, but basically, supposedly Aerosmith is going on their farewell tour. I'll believe it if I go the rest of my life without ever seeing them again. Apparently the farewell tour has been postponed because Steven Tyler's hurt his voice and blah, 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 blah. Aerosmith is a classic example of a band that has been riding on their reputation for decades. I've been through this before, which albums are good and which albums are bad, but basically they have sucked for longer than they were good, by far. But anyway, so I wanted to get other people, people's take on the same, read the opinions of people who agree with me. That's what the internet's for, right? So, I looked up the phrase Aerosmith sucks, I think it was, and found a comment by someone, and it wasn't directly about Aerosmith, but it was about how there are radio stations and they play, like say Aerosmith, they'll play Dream On and Walk This Way and maybe one of the more recent pop hits that they've had. Like, I'm really not familiar with any of the pop hits they've had. Crazy, is that one of them? I'm not familiar. Anyway, and that's it. And when I worked at the university mailroom, the first time it was, we had a radio in the mailroom, and the woman who was in charge didn't want us playing any radio stations except Magic 102. And I think that there are several Magic 102s around the country. I think it's a franchise or something. But anyway, the local one, basically they played the same playlist every single day. They had 2, maybe 3 Phil Collins songs they played, the same ones every day. 2, maybe 3 Billy Joel songs. Just go through the list. And I got so mad about it that I wrote a letter to the station basically saying, I understand, your demographic is older women, and these are the artists that have been scientifically calculated to appeal to them the most. But why is it just these handful of songs by these artists? I mean, Phil Collins did more than just, these 2 or 3 songs. And they wrote back this snotty letter, you don't know what you're talking about. And, anyway, that just irks me, that idea. Alright, let's see what we got here next. Okay, this is the last topic. Incel reasons. Something. Men and women separate, school separate. Okay. Alright. It's been a lot of... I watched a video explaining the manosphere, and the woman who did the video talked about what she thought, or what certain researchers thought, was the reason behind all this shit. But this is my take on why I think this phenomenon has started. I think that a lot of the people who become anti-feminists, or they become so-called incels, or anti-woman, and the thing is, let me back up a second. A lot of these guys, they simultaneously hate women but crave women. And when they can't get all the sex they want, they blame the woman. And the thing is that a lot of them don't know how to interact with women. And I'm getting further back. My thing is, I think a lot of these guys come from cultures or backgrounds where they're not raised alongside girls. Boys and girls are kept separate. And so they don't know how to interact with girls, don't know how to interact with women. And so when they get grown, all they know about women is that women are for having sex with, and so give me the sex. But interacting with a woman from the standpoint of we're friends or we're compatriots, that's unknown to them, and they don't know anything about it. And I think that to the extent that they are given any instruction, it's just about courting or about dating. This is what you do when you go on a date with a young lady, and it's nothing about, well, this is how you have common courtesy with a fellow human being, No instruction is given that, well, yes, this is a girl, yes, this is a woman, but you don't act like you have to be on pins and needles around her, Kenneth Clark, in his autobiography, said that he always felt that the level of civility in a room went down, like at a party, when the men and women went off into separate areas to socialize. He liked it when men and women socialized together. Anyway, I don't know. I'm kind of sleepy. I don't have the animation I normally do. I've run out of topics faster than I thought I was going to. Oh dear. This will be interesting. Okay. Anyway, I'm trying to think. I don't know. It's sort of a dumb topic. I can't stand these. I really don't have much to do with social media, so I'm not exposed to a lot of that shit, that anti-feminist shit. I'll tell you, the video I'm referring to specifically is by Legion Miller, and it's something about explaining the manosphere or something. And she was reading out, she was giving the manosphere / incel theory at its most extreme, which is that in the 50s everything was perfect and blah blah. I think, I don't know to what extent a lot of these guys buy that part of the theory to that extent, but I know from reading old Jules Feiffer cartoons from the late 50s, early 60s, that there was plenty of male insecurity back then, even, There was plenty of, I don't know how to interact with this woman and lead things towards sex. There was a lot of that even back then. What is this person in front of me doing? What is this huge lag behind, just move. I'm sorry. I slept basically from 1 until 6, which is 5 hours, way more than I normally do on average in one time block, and I would have kept sleeping if my wife hadn't come in and woken me up. My sleep got all screwed up this weekend. Tonight's going to be pretty bad. I have to deal with this woman who's supervising. I mean, if the universe was nice to me, it would arrange things so that she's not there tonight. I don't want to have to put up with it. God, I got sleep in my eyes. I hate that. One of the reasons I hate watching the news is because the type of news that I watch, is anti-Trump stuff, CNN, Guardian, MSNBC, and they always have news stories or videos, and the title promises, oh, this is it for Trump, he's on the ropes this time, oh, this is it. And first of all, that's never true. And second of all, then you watch the story and it's the same old shit. Well, judge made a ruling today slightly against Trump's legal team, and they parlay that into, oh, that's it this time. Oh, it's until they repeal the Electoral College, I'm not going to have any hope. Oh my God. Oh dear. I don't know what to talk about now. Ran out of stuff too soon. Hopefully they're going to give me Columbus Day off. And then next week I can, this coming weekend will be another 3-day weekend. Started a new painting last night. And to be honest, I didn't put as much effort into the planning of it as I wanted to. But I really couldn't think of anything. But the basic composition turned out okay. I think it's going to be a good painting. I really think it's time to bump up to a larger size canvas. The problem is my studio is basically a child's bedroom, and my easel is something I made out of scraps. So there's a limit to how big of a canvas I can work on. And where am I going to store it? I've basically got I've made some storage area in the closet of this room, but anything larger than the paintings I'm working on, I just don't know what I'm going to do with them. I think if I push things to the limit, just keep going, that something will happen. At the last minute, that's usually the way my life works. At the last minute, something happens to relieve the pressure, to make things better. My wife is all worried about this whole thing with them moving people to Palmetto. And I'm not worried about it because I really don't think it's going to affect me. And plus, I'm still holding out hope that I'll get to go back to Athens. There's always hope. And I'll tell you why. Because hope is really nothing more than imagining something good coming your way. And you can always imagine something, There's always hope that aliens will show up and put an end to 10,000 years of theism. Oh my God, I don't feel too good. I didn't have a chance to go to the bathroom before I left the house. Alright, we're coming up on the end of the show. Oh, I'm sorry. Alright.